Have you ever felt so lonely that even when you're surrounded by memories, the silence feels deafening? I'm 75, and there was a time when loneliness weighed heavily on my heart every single day. But one day, I discovered something that transformed my nights from isolation into moments of warmth and connection. Stay with me as I share the secret that changed everything for me. In today's video, I'm going to share my personal journey from feeling isolated and alone to waking up with a heart full of joy. I won't reveal all the details just yet, so keep watching. If you're an elder who's ever felt the sting of loneliness, you're not alone. My story might be the key that helps you rediscover hope and connection. My long journey with loneliness. For many years, I lived with a quiet pain that I couldn't quite shake off. After retirement, when many of my friends had moved away or passed on, I found myself alone in a house filled with memories. I would sit by the window, watching the world go by, feeling like I was on the outside looking in. I remember nights when the silence was so overwhelming that I'd hear my own heartbeat echoing in the emptiness. It wasn't just about not having company, it was about missing the conversations, the laughter, and the small acts of kindness that make life feel complete. I felt as though I was invisible, forgotten by a world that had once been so vibrant. I tried many ways to fight the loneliness. I took long walks, listened to my favorite music, and even tried picking up old hobbies. Yet, no matter what I did, the feeling of isolation seemed to linger. It was as if I was trapped in a cycle, where each day felt like a repeat of the one before, with the same quiet ache of loneliness. One particular evening stands out in my memory. I sat in my favorite chair, feeling the weight of all those lonely years, and tears started to fall. I wondered if this was my fate, that at 75, loneliness would be my constant companion. That night, I made a silent promise to myself that I wouldn't give up on finding happiness and connection, no matter how late in life it seemed. I knew deep down that something had to change. If you've ever felt this kind of loneliness, please know that you're not alone. Many of us have been there, and there's always hope for a brighter tomorrow. And if you're finding this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel, Golden Years Wisdom. We're here to support each other on this journey. The turning point, finding the secret. My turning point came unexpectedly. One day, while I was browsing through an old photo album, I stumbled upon a picture of my younger self, smiling, surrounded by friends and family. That image sparked a memory of how life used to be, and it made me realize that I was missing out on something essential. I began to wonder, could there be a simple change, a small daily habit, that could bring back that feeling of connection? I started talking to a neighbor who was also in his 70s, and he shared how joining a local community group had transformed his life. He spoke about warm gatherings, shared meals, and the laughter that filled the room when old friends reunited. Inspired by his story, I decided to experiment. I began to search for activities that would allow me to reconnect with others. I found a local book club for seniors and even started attending a weekly tea gathering at the community center. At first, I was nervous. I hadn't been in a social setting like that for years. But I soon discovered that the warmth and acceptance in those rooms were exactly what I had been missing. One evening after my first tea gathering, I sat on a park bench under a starlit sky, feeling something new, a lightness in my heart that I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't an immediate fix, it took time and effort. But gradually I began to see changes. The loneliness that once seemed so all-consuming started to recede, replaced by moments of genuine connection and laughter. I want you to remember that it's never too late to make a change. If you're struggling with loneliness, even if you think it's too late, I urge you to try something new. Sometimes the smallest steps can lead to the biggest changes. And if you ever feel brave enough to share your own journey, please leave a comment below. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step. The daily habits that changed my life. Let's talk about the simple habits I adopted that helped me stop feeling lonely overnight. I'm not saying it was a magic trick, but rather a series of small, meaningful actions that added up over time. Daily social connection. Every morning, I made a point to call one friend or family member. Even a short conversation made a huge difference in my day. Sometimes I would call someone just to say hello, and other times we'd reminisce about the past. These small interactions slowly built a bridge over the gap of isolation. Joining community groups. I decided to join a local book club and attended weekly gatherings at the community center. At first, I felt like an outsider, but soon I discovered that these groups were full of people just like me, looking for connection and sharing stories of their lives. The sense of belonging I experienced there was heartwarming. Engaging in meaningful activities. I took up hobbies that allowed me to interact with others, like gardening and simple art classes. These activities not only kept my mind busy, but also gave me the chance to bond with new friends who shared similar interests. Volunteering. I began volunteering at the local senior center, helping to organize events and simply spending time with those in need of companionship. Volunteering gave me a sense of purpose and made me feel valued. I realized that even when I felt lonely, I had so much to offer others. Embracing technology. At first, I was hesitant to use technology, but then I learned how to use video calls to connect with distant family and friends. It was amazing to see familiar faces and hear their voices, even if they were miles away. This opened a whole new world of communication for me. Self-reflection and journaling. Every night before bed, I would spend a few minutes writing in a journal. I wrote about my feelings, the interactions of the day, and things I was grateful for. This simple act of reflection helped me process my emotions and focus on the positive aspects of my life. These daily habits didn't magically erase all the loneliness overnight, but they did create a foundation of connection that built up day by day. I started to see that by taking small actions, I was not only changing my routine, but also changing my outlook on life. Each day became a little brighter, and the feeling of loneliness slowly faded away. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Even if you start with just one small habit, like calling a friend or joining a local group, it can be the beginning of a wonderful transformation. If you've tried any of these steps or have your own ideas on how to stay connected, please share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might be the spark that helps someone else find their way. And please, if you're enjoying this journey, hit that subscribe button. At Golden Years Wisdom, we believe that every day holds the promise of a new beginning, and we're here to help you discover it. The emotional transformation. As I embraced these changes, I began to notice something remarkable, not just in my routine, but in my heart. I was no longer defined by loneliness. Each conversation, every smile shared, and each new friendship built a wall of support around me. I remember the first time I attended one of the community gatherings. I was nervous, almost on the verge of giving up before I even walked through the door. But as soon as I entered, I was greeted with warm smiles and friendly faces. I sat down, listened to stories, and eventually, I shared my own. There were tears, laughter, and moments of deep understanding. It was as if every person there was fighting the same battle against loneliness, and together we found solace in our shared experiences. That night, on my way home, I felt lighter than I had in years. The simple act of connecting with others had filled a void that I hadn't even realized was so deep. I began to appreciate the small moments of kindness, a neighbor waving as I walked by, a friendly chat at the local store, or a handwritten note from a friend. Each of these moments added up, creating a tapestry of human connection that warmed my soul. I learned that loneliness isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a human emotion that many of us experience. And by opening up and reaching out, we can begin to heal. I want you to know that even if you're feeling isolated right now, there is hope. There is a way out, and sometimes it starts with one simple conversation or one act of kindness. If you have a moment, please take a second to subscribe to our channel, Golden Years Wisdom, and share your own experiences in the comments. How have you overcome loneliness in your life? Your story matters, and it might be just what someone else needs to hear today. Practical tips for daily connection. Here are some practical tips that you can start using today to help ease the feeling of loneliness. Set a daily routine. Create a simple schedule that includes time for phone calls, a visit to a local community center, or even a short walk where you can greet neighbors. Routine can be very comforting and helps establish connections. Join a local group or class. Whether it's a book club, a cooking class, or a walking group, joining a local gathering can introduce you to like-minded people and spark new friendships. Use technology to connect. Don't be afraid to embrace technology. Learn how to use video calls or social media to stay in touch with family and friends, even if they're far away. It's a great way to feel connected in today's digital world. Volunteer in your community. Volunteering not only helps others, but also gives you a sense of purpose and belonging. Whether it's helping at a local shelter or organizing community events, every small act of kindness can make a difference. Write down your thoughts. Keeping a journal can help you process your emotions. Write down your feelings of loneliness, but also note down the moments when you felt connected. This simple habit can remind you of the good things in life. Reach out for help. Sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Whether it's speaking with a friend, family member, or a professional counselor, sharing your feelings can lighten the emotional load and open the door to meaningful conversations. Each of these tips is designed to be simple and manageable, even on days when you feel low. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process built on small, consistent steps. And every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards a more connected, fulfilling life. I'd love to know, what daily habit has helped you feel more connected? Please leave a comment below. Sharing your experience might just help another elder who is struggling with loneliness. And if you're finding these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom for more heartwarming advice on healthy aging. The power of community and self-love. Over the years, I have learned that the secret to overcoming loneliness isn't just about changing your routine. It's about embracing self-love and building a community. It's about realizing that every person, no matter their age, deserves to feel valued and connected. I remember a particular day when I was feeling especially low. I decided to take a walk to the park, and as I sat on a bench, a kind stranger joined me. We started chatting, and before I knew it, I had made a new friend. That simple interaction reminded me that kindness exists everywhere, and sometimes all it takes is one small conversation to brighten your day. Self-love is also a crucial part of this journey. I learned to appreciate myself, not just for my past achievements, but for the person I am today. I started small by celebrating little victories like getting out of bed with a smile or finishing a day without feeling overwhelmed by loneliness. Each moment of self-appreciation built my confidence and helped me connect with others on a deeper level. Building a community can start with simple steps. I reached out to old friends, attended local events, and even started writing letters to people who were far away. These acts of connection reminded me that I had a place in this world. I was no longer invisible. I was part of a network of caring individuals who understood the value of human connection. If you're feeling isolated, please remember that you are worthy of love and friendship. Reach out, take that small step, and let someone into your world. And if you have a story of connection or self-love to share, I'd love to read it in the comments. Your words might be the inspiration that someone else needs to take a step towards healing. As we near the end of this video, I want you to know that overcoming loneliness is a journey that requires patience, persistence, and the courage to reach out. I look back at the days when loneliness controlled my life, and I can see how far I've come. Now, each morning is filled with hope and the promise of new connections. I encourage you to take a moment today and reflect on the small steps you can take to open your heart to the world. Whether it's calling a friend, joining a group, or simply taking a walk in nature, every action matters. Remember that you are not alone. There are people out there who care, and there is a community waiting to embrace you. Before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought. Life is full of opportunities to connect, learn, and grow, no matter your age. Embrace the journey, cherish each moment, and know that every small act of kindness creates a ripple of love that can transform your world. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom for more tips on healthy aging and emotional well-being. Your comments and stories mean the world to me, so please share your experiences below. Let's build a community where every elder feels seen, heard, and loved. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your journey matters, and together we can help each other live our golden years with dignity, connection, and joy. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, you are loved.